At the start, we are introduced to an elderly man named Hori who lives alone in his house. His wife passed away decades ago, and his beloved dog ran away recently. Ever since, Hori has lost his purpose in life as he has no one to talk to. He spends most of his time going through pictures of his wife and reminiscing the good times they spent together. But one morning, he wakes up and decides to do something drastic. Hori buys a dating magazine and picks up a beautiful young woman named Leslie. He wants to date her and eventually make her his wife. But since Hori is old and wrinkly, seducing her is going to be a near impossible task. So he decides to do the unimaginable. That is, to transform himself into a young and handsome man. Normally, people undergo medical procedures or train themselves to the limit to appear younger. However, Hori is impatient, and he doesn't have the funds to visit a doctor. Hence, he begins the transformation using different objects he finds in his house. At first, he takes a small hacksaw blade and trims off the old flesh from his feet. Hori doesn't feel any pain during the whole procedure, but instead, he gets tickled. And after this, he puts molten wax in both of his ears and pulls them out once they solidify. This causes blood to come out of his ears. And once that's done, Hori paints his teeth with correction fluid and puts powder all over his face. He also plucks out eyeballs from a creepy-looking doll and fits it into his eye socket. As for the wrinkly face, Hori has a brilliant idea in mind. He stretches his skin and ties it behind his neck with some safety pins. How does this guy know my exact routine for going out on Sunday nights? Following this, he undergoes some more modifications with the help of scissors, spray paint, blow dryers, medical pills, and even hammers to give him a youthful appearance. After putting on a wig, Hori zaps himself with high voltage current to get his long-lost energy back.
Alright, let's see. Whoa! Yeah, here we go, buddy!
When he is finally done with his transformation, surprisingly, we see a completely changed man. He has a dashing appearance with a killer smile, something which is surely going to seduce girls. In the next scene, Hori sets out to meet the love of his life. With a small gift in hand, he is certain that he can win over Leslie's heart. As expected, he does just that. Later, we see the two having a romantic time. They eat ice cream from the same bowl, run along the beach, go to a party, and also watch the sunset together. The only problem is that Leslie's tiny dog, Bacon, seems to dislike Hori. He keeps barking at the man, indicating that he has caught wind of the deceit.
You're freaking old! You're freaking old!
Nonetheless, Hori continues with his ways and takes things one step further by gifting Leslie his vintage Riley car. That evening, they venture out for a ride, and it appears as if Hori and Leslie are in a fairy tale. There are birds all around, and the smell of flowers has enchanted the environment. However, things take a bad turn for Hori when the car runs into some potholes, leaving his already fragile body in a precarious state. As he tries to handle the situation, suddenly Leslie sneezes and her face gets stuck on the windshield. In a shocking turn of events, it is revealed that she too is an elderly woman who had undergone extreme transformation to appear youthful. Hori is left stunned by the sight, and the next second, his body also comes loose, revealing his original form. Initially, the two just stare at each other in shock, but then they become excited and start making out. The movie ends as Bacon the dog also discloses his real face, which turns out to be old and ugly.
But he's still a good boy, though.